This morning, the final preparations are underway ahead of the funeral of Pope Francis. Security heightened across Rome with more than 50 world leaders set to be in Vatican City, including President Trump, who's heading to Rome later this morning.
And right now, the public viewing continues. A live look right now as thousands more people are expected to walk past the Pope's body at St. Peter's Basilica before his coffin is closed tonight. Eyewitness News reporter Mike Marza live in Vatican City with more. Mike?
Charlene and Pedro, good morning. Maybe you can hear the chop of the helicopter above me. Just part of the indication of how ramped up the security is getting. Barricades have been set up today. Areas that we were able to pass through in the past couple of days, those are now closed. Clearly, there is an anticipation of this huge event that is about to happen. You mentioned inside St. Peter's Basilica, people still marching through, and outside in St. Peter's Square, thousands of people are still lining up. By 8 o'clock this morning, the Vatican says more than 128,000 people have made their way through. The funeral expected to draw more than 200,000 people, but the Rome mayor's office expects that number could be well over that, just based on the interest of what's been playing out the past few days. No matter where you turn, there is a buzz building here in Rome. The corner cafes are crowded, the streets are packed, shops are marking the moment. Italian security, saddled with keeping one of the biggest events in the world safe, is clamping down. In squares across the city, huge screens are now set up to broadcast the funeral. Portable bathrooms now rest on Roman sidewalks.
All the buildings and everything is preparing for the big funeral tomorrow, and the people are also preparing their hearts for what we are going to live tomorrow.
In St. Peter's Square, barricades are now funneling the thousands of mourners down the main street that leads to St. Peter's Basilica, where Pope Francis is lying in state for the third and final day.
It was very sad because many people were crying, so that's the thing.
Yeah, why was it so important that you go in and do that?
Because it's important, the Pope. It's like a very important person. Everybody knows him from every part of the world.
Overnight, telecommunication towers started going up on the fringe of St. Peter's Square. It is after midnight here in Rome on Friday morning, and you can see people still lining up to pass by the body of Pope Francis lying in state. By 8 this morning, more than 128,000 people had shuffled past the late pontiff's body. An 81-year-old nun and close friend of the late pope was allowed to break protocol and enter an area reserved for male clergy, all to mourn her friend. And final preparations are now underway on his tomb at the Basilica of St. Mary Major, about 4 miles away, where Pope Francis will be laid to rest.
Francisco has been a change in the church, in the Universal Church. So for us, he's been a reference for young people. We've grown up with his image and his words, which has guided us in our way to holiness.
I mentioned the Basilica of St. Mary Majors. That's about 4 miles away from here, and we're hearing a little bit more about the funeral details. There will be a procession from St. Peter's Basilica. It will be at a walking pace, as they describe it, and some of the Italian media is reporting that that procession could pass by some of the iconic monuments here in Rome, such as the Colosseum. So a striking image, no doubt, expected to play out early morning tomorrow, New York time. By the way, what's happening tonight, less than 8 hours for all the people that have been lined up outside St. Peter's Basilica to pay their respects to Pope Francis before that shuts down at 8 o'clock tonight, and they will hold the official closing of the coffin ceremony. A lot more to come as the final farewell continues for Pope Francis. At the Vatican, Mike Marza, Channel 7 Eyewitness News. Charlene and Pedro will send it back to you.
All right, Mike, we appreciate your reporting out there. Thank you.
Tonight, please join us for a half-hour special on the People's Pope. It includes special stories of those whose hearts have been touched by Francis, his importance to the Latino community especially, and then even the Pope's impact on pop culture. Everything will be examined here, so please join us tonight, 8 o'clock, streaming on ABC 7 NY.